So this is going to be a weird video. It's not necessarily a Canadiens post-game video. The game happened yesterday. The Habs lost 5-2 to the Calgary Flames. But instead of just talking about the game per se, I wanted to go over some numbers. I wanted to go over some extra tidbits and just kind of compile it all into one video over here. Because as you can see, the Montreal Canadiens lost 5-2 yesterday to the Calgary Flames. But when it comes to the stories of the game, the 5-2 loss itself was like third or fourth fiddle in regards to what Canadiens fans were talking about. Now, I'd say the biggest thing that Canadiens fans discussed yesterday during this 5-2 Canadiens loss was the absence of head coach Martin St. Louis, who announced that he will be away from the team for family-related reasons. There was a press release posted on the Montreal Canadiens website. It's a very short update. It just says this: the Canadiens announced on Saturday that head coach Martin St. Louis will be away from the team indefinitely for family reasons. Assistant coach Trevor Letowski will resume head coaching duties during St. Louis' absence. And I didn't want to make a video about this because this is such little information to go off of, and the press release came right before the game. I didn't think it would be a good business decision to talk about this before the Canadiens game kicked off. But then we had ourselves some word from David Savard that went out there and kind of indicated what's going on here. He kind of let it slip up during the intermission here. After he scored a goal, he said, "We're going to try to win for his son." So that's all that we had learned about Martin St. Louis. The funny part is, like, after David Savard said this, if you go over to Elite Prospects, like, all of St. Louis' kids were trending on Elite Prospects the day after. And, okay, they're still kind of there. You got Ryan St. Louis, Mason St. Louis, and Lucas St. Louis all trending on EP. But yesterday, after the comments was made by David Savard, these three St. Louis kids were all 1, 2, 3 on the Elite Prospects trending players. So that, of course, kind of indicates where the Canadiens fans' heads are at. But either way, Martin St. Louis is out for an indefinite period of time. I didn't want to talk about that in a video by itself because I didn't think that it'd be kind of, appropriate to do that. But other than the Martin St. Louis absence, we did have ourselves a few extra notes about this Canadiens and Flames game. Obviously, it had a Cole Caufield goal, which is good to see. He had 7 shots, so he's still going out there and putting pucks on goal, but he did score finally for the first time in a long time. And with this Cole Caufield goal being put up on the board, you had yourself Sportsnet stats that went out there and tweeted this: Cole Caufield is the first Canadiens player with 3 straight 20-goal seasons at 23 years of age or younger since Stéphane Richer, who had 5 straight from 1985-86 to 89-90. And a lot of the replies are kind of cynical about it. Oh, it's a weak game. Yes, he scored, but it was a pretty weak game. And I guess there are some other things that you can be happy about when you talk about the Cole Caufield record. I mean, here's another tweet that illuminates the same point made by StatCenter on Sportsnet, or not Sportsnet, excuse me, TSN StatCenter. Here are the most career 20-goal seasons before age 24 among players in Canadiens franchise history. You've got Stéphane Richer, who is number 1. Number 2, it's a tie between Bernie Boom Boom and Guy Lafleur. Cole Caufield ties Henri Richard and Claude Lemieux for, 4th overall with 3, and then with 2 20-goal seasons, there are 13 others that are tied. So Cole Caufield has literally tied the Pocket Rocket, which I think is a pretty good piece of news, and something that Canadiens fans should be pretty happy about, considering they were both the same size, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Henri Richard was pretty small himself, also 5'7", so hey, pretty nice link there between the Pocket Rocket, the most decorated Stanley Cup winning NHL person of all time, and of Cole Caufield, who is also 5'7", a bit heavier than the Pocket Rocket was, though, so that's interesting to see. There's a lot of people that are going out there talking about Caufield and his production. I mean, he's on pace for 24 goals this season and 64 points, which, he's already got a career high in points this year, but realistically, I think the biggest thing that people should note about Cole Caufield is the fact that he did need to recover from the shoulder surgery earlier on in the offseason. The fact is, there was always going to be an extended period of recovery for Caufield in regards to his shoulder. And a lot of people were kind of prepared for it. Some were saying, yeah, I mean, he's not going to be the same. He's going to have to wait a little bit before he's fully back up to this 26 goal and 46 game profile, this 40 goal per season profile that he was exhibiting earlier in his career. Because now, I mean, he's only on pace for 24 goals on the season, which is okay for a 23-year-old forward, but it's not really acceptable in the minds of many Canadiens fans when you acknowledge what Caufield has been capable of doing in the past. He's a young guy, he's still getting everything fixed up. Remember when Austin Matthews had some of those same surgery proceedings, and it took him a while to get back up to 60, 70 goal form? Or I don't think Matthews had shoulder surgery, he had wrist surgery, but he had shoulder injuries as well. And I think the same thing is sort of applying here to Caufield, where it's like, you kind of have to recognize that even though he's cleared to play after all of the recovery he had last year, it's not like he's going to be at 100% just yet. He's got to get comfortable with that shoulder, and heading into next season and beyond, I think that's when we could really start to see Cole Caufield shooting a lot better. I think he's at a 7% shooting percentile this year, which is not good, especially for Caufield's sake, but he has become a lot more of a playmaker this season as well, which I think bodes very good things when you think about the bigger picture. So for Cole Caufield, he is literally tied Henri Richard, and that's a pretty good thing to pay attention to. We also had ourselves some other things to talk about in regards to the Canadiens' first line. The Habs top line has been one of the NHL's best since the All-Star break. Now, this tweet admittedly was from a week ago, March 9th, 2024, but it still goes out there and illuminates some pretty good things. Caufield, Suzuki, and Slafkovsky at this point of the tweet's publication were the second best line in the NHL at 5v5. Very funny how the top line happens to be of Gaudreau, Jenner, and Roslovic. Roslovic is no longer in Columbus, but better than Draisaitl, McDavid, Hyman, better than Rantanen, McKinnon, Lehkonen, better than Kaprizov, Eriksson, Ek, and Boldy. This Caufield, Suzuki, Slafkovsky line has been carrying, and even yesterday, you saw yourselves yet another goal scored with all three of these guys involved. So, good to see the young guys doing their thing. This is what we talked about in yesterday's video, how the Canadiens have such a good first line, but if you're able to round out the rest of your lineup and your top to middle six with young guys in the same age range, then that could be the ultimate formula to becoming golden and Stanley Cup championship caliber contending in the next few years. Of course, though, we recognize that the Canadiens are not a Stanley Cup championship contending team right now, but hey, that doesn't matter. Things like this will go out there and potentially help them out because, hey, yesterday was an incredible day for the Canadiens tank. Take a look at this. They're 4 points away from the bottom four, and they're 1 point away from the bottom five, and tied with Ottawa in points percentage. Keep this trend going just a bit longer. So even fans like the Habitants are going out there and saying, yeah, no, it's okay if they lose. That's totally fine. We're going over with the tank. If you want to check out Tankathon, right now the Montreal Canadiens have themselves what is the 6th best lottery odds at getting first overall. They've got a 7.5% chance at getting Macklin Celebrini. Now sure, San Jose has the number 1 opportunity with 25.5%. Chicago's got number 2, Anaheim number 3. But if the Canadiens just keep on losing, I mean, they're tied with Arizona right now, and they're slightly better in points percentage. So there's a realistic chance that if the Canadiens keep on losing out, they could get overtaken by Arizona and or Columbus. I'd say that Anaheim is a little bit too far out of reach. 49 points for Anaheim. Montreal has 61, so that's a difference of 12. You know, I think it's really Arizona and Columbus that the Canadiens could start to lose and get behind if they keep on continuing to, you know, tank, quote unquote. These other teams here in the top 3, I don't think that's really attainable at this point. It's a little bit too far-fetched. But hey, if the Canadiens are able to lose out and get up to 9.5% at getting Macklin Celebrini, that's totally all right. And if you wanted to take a look at what other players the Canadiens could get should they not get Celebrini, then hey, this is the Why I Want series. We've been talking about this all year, going over prospects eligible in the 2024 NHL Entry Draft. So, hey, if you're a Canadiens fan and you want to see some extra content for these draft prospects, go ahead and take a look at this. But for now, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Firstly, about the news that Martin St. Louis had been taking a leave of absence from the team for family reasons. Of course, we wish the best to St. Louis and his family. We want to see everything come back healthy, properly, and well. But thoughts in the comment section about Martin St. Louis, thoughts in the comment section as well about the pocket rocket, the Cole Caufield record, going out there and tying what was Henri Richard and his overall profile of 20-goal seasons before a certain age. What are your thoughts about the Canadiens' first line going out there and doing their thing? And then what are your opinions about the Canadiens and the tank for Celebrini? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. 99 and bye.